Hello everyone, we're back with more Magic on MTG Arena. So, to preface this video, one of the more popular decks on Arena the last couple days has been Blue-Green Flash. Martin Yuza popularized a really low-to-the-ground, low-curve version that basically wants to play one or two creatures early and then counter everything you do. And it's kind of miserable to play against, and so I decided I didn't want to lose to it anymore. So, I decided to put together the best Teferi Time Raveler deck I could. The answer that I came up with is good old-fashioned Esper control. This is not an Esper hero deck, this is a pretty hard control deck. So, most of this is pretty standard. Counters, wraths, planeswalkers, discard, early removal, all the normal stuff. I'm doing two important things that are different than what you'll usually see in a control deck. One is Cavalier of Gales. I played with this card in other decks, and the more I play with it, the more I like it. It's resilient. If they kill it, it'll just keep jumping away, so you don't have to worry about something like your Chromium accidentally getting Kaya's Wrathed. This thing will be able to come back from a lot. It is card advantage when you play it, even if they kill it, so that's nice. This is just a fantastic card. Honestly, I've liked it possibly more than Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. It doesn't draw you as many cards, but it does win the game in pretty short order. And you don't need to protect it. Like, you have to have the board pretty stable to play a Teferi and not have to worry. But Cavalier of Gales, you don't have to protect it, it protects you. So I think this card's really good, and that's why I'm playing a 3-3 split with Cavalier and Teferi. Finally, the other weird thing is Planar Cleansing. We have very few ways to break symmetry on this. It's basically just flipping a search for Azcanta that will actually get us ahead that way. But that is a-okay. Like, one thing I have learned in this format is that you don't have to break symmetry, you just need a reset button when you're behind. Something like the Esper hero deck, the way they win is that they play a Hero of Precinct 1, and then a Teferi Time Raveler, and then an Elite Guard Mage, and then a Teferi Hero of Dominaria. And if you're answering those threats one for one at a time, you're going to fall really far behind, because Teferi drew a card, the Guard Mage drew a card, this drew a card. And if you try to answer them all at once, you're probably not going to be able to. People play the Elder spell to hit all the planeswalkers, or Kaya's Wrath to hit all the creatures, but neither of those does all at once, and neither of those does everything all at once. Planar Cleansing does. There's almost no board state that Planar Cleansing can't bring you back from. This card has been awesome for me, and I'm closer to finding room for a third than I am to cutting it. 27 lands. Usually people play 26, but I've got a lot of really expensive cards. Really need to hit my land drops, so that's why I'm playing 27. One of each, so we can't get screwed off of one by Assassin's Trophy or Field of Ruin. What this means is that we have 17 of each sorts, which is basically enough. It's like a little short on blue, but no shorter than the other 26 land Esper decks, and we're better off than they are for, like, casting Kaya's Wrath, so it's fine. You can't really make the mana better. Or no, I'm sorry, I just lied. I said all that. We actually have 28 lands. I found room for the 28th with the Dismal Backwater. If I could play Temple of Deceit, I would, but I really wanted my last land to be blue. It could be another island, but then this also gets to buff up our black count, so it's pretty good that way. So yeah. 28 lands, 18 blue, 18 black, 17 white. It's good enough. Sideboard is not really anything special. Just adjust your deck for what they're doing. Duress for control, removal for small creature decks. The only really weird choices are Ravenous Chupacabra. This is just sort of my mid-range card, like if I'm playing against red-green dinosaurs or something like that. I really want to impact the board in multiple ways. I want to kill their thing and then also threaten to block, or pressure their planeswalkers, or something like that. And finally commence the endgame. I've sideboarded this card before. I think it's pretty good. The fact that it can't be countered is nice, and it puts a threat on the board, so if opponents sitting back behind a Teferi and expecting that to win the game, you can pressure it and get ahead on cards at the same time. And in particular in control mirrors, Cavalier of Gales and Teferi both have a habit of getting Vraska's contempted, and so we can run out of win conditions, and so boarding up to more win conditions is always nice. I think the games for this are going to be very long, as control games tend to be, and I think I explained everything relatively well. If you had any questions, as always, you can just ask in the comments, but I'm gonna go ahead and hop into things. Alright, against Priscilla, getting into it. On the play, always good. Alright, we'd prefer a 2-drop spell, but this has our colors and powerful things, so definitely not gonna mulligan. Best draws would be like Thought Erasure or maybe Search for Azcanta. Depending on what they do, we can decide whether to stick one of these early or hold up Absorb. Almost certainly gonna do one of them. Against some opponents, Teferi is just really, really, really good. And will ruin their day. I only have one Narset. I started with 3, but I think even if this card isn't as commonly played anymore, people are building their decks as if it is. Just straight up card draw is like not really very common at all. Okay, I was hoping it'd be a Wild Growth Walker so we could bounce it.
Let's slow this down. That's more like it.
As Teferi said, let's slow this down. Jade Light Ranger, sure. Okay. I wish we had double black here.
Trust me, I have a plan.
I could give up on Teferi and play Narset and Minus. I could attempt to kill Teferi, but then we're kind of not really getting anywhere. Could also Thought Erasure. This is tough. A second black in this turn would be very easy, I think. We'd just do both of these. I think I might give up on Teferi, but this way I can hold up Absorb, and if they don't do anything, I can end step Thought Erasure. Like, he slowed them down and cycled, and we're getting a significant advantage here about not having to tap out sorcery speed. I would like to get the Surveil from Thought Erasure. That would be nice, if they don't do anything too scary. Nothing. Not even playing out the Wild Growth, huh? This is so good. Like, end step discard spell with Scry attached to it. Okay. These are scary. If we can protect a Narset, then Hydroid Krasis isn't that bad. Command the Dreadhorde is very bad, but they're a couple turns away from that. Cavalier of Night is not really threatening. Casualties of War is pretty bad for us, as is Vivian. I think I'm going to take Vivian because she threatens to come down the soonest. I want to draw that land. So let's think this through. If I play Narset and downtick, then I'm locked into cast down here. They can't do anything that scary to me, so that's like kind of okay. And then I'm definitely going to look to absorb afterwards.
Mind and body should move in unison. Meditate and prepare.
It's not a terrible hit. If they had had just one of these two cards, I think I actually would have looked to I would have looked to take that one and let them resolve the Vivian. This is fine, I've got a swamp. This is why you play one of each basic. But, because these are the only two that really threaten, in a way... I suppose I can Planar Cleansing after Command the Dreadhorde, so maybe I should have just taken Casualties of War. Letting them untap a bunch with Vivian is scary, though. Alright, we'll see what they do here. They might just, like, Krasis with Exit 3, but that's, like, not even good. Okay, I mean, that's pretty whatever. Yeah, double Wild Growth Walker is not that scary. I could leave her at 3 for now. And then Teferi and bounce and still be holding up Absorb. That's not bad. Because I don't want her to die. I want her to be blocking Krasis. But I don't mind if Teferi dies.
If you show remorse, I've got it.
Ooh, and that's not a bad draw for next turn. Well, I don't quite want to play that yet. I'd like to flip it before I have to cleansing. That's really annoying. Wish that hadn't happened. I like really need to absorb this Casualties of War, but I kind of want to counter that. Took me a long time to figure out exactly how the cat works, but I kind of love it.
I have just the trick for this.
Okay. See if they get greedy and split these up here. They do. And now they're like in a tough spot. If they hit a land, then they can just do one of these and it's not so bad. Yeah, like this is like not very good. Okay. Go to my turn. Oh, I kind of... Oh, well, I can keep that and then transform. Yeah. Huh. If I play that, I'm asking to get messed up by Casualties of War pretty badly, but I also would really like to find a counter here. I think I'm just going to wait a little longer. Okay, they're again opting into being a little greedy at Narset here. So the thing about Planar Cleansing is that it destroys all the things, it doesn't exile them. And so if I Cleansing with that Cavalier out, they get a body back anyway. Okay.
I've lost so much already. You can't stop nature.
So this is a little rough. The mana just like doesn't quite work out here. This was basically their best non-land draw. Because now I have to be scared of these again, and I just like kind of don't have anything going on. Oh, this is tough. I could Cavalier, but again, I don't think that's good. I think once again I'm gonna wait. And so my plan is to use Disfigure to keep Narset around, because I really want them to overcommit to something here, and then I want to clean it all up with Planar Cleansing. So let's count the mana. If I activate, it'll use 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is fine. Basically, I want to be able to Azcanta into a counter spell and have that still work. Alright, what do we got? Well, there's one of their spells countered. So, if I play Cavalier, I can also hold up Azcanta, which is good because it'll sort of reset the Brainstorm. Ooh. Let's put back a land and a Cavalier. So again, my thought process here is I just want them to commit more so I can cleansing everything away. Like, if they down-tick Vivian and then kill her and then play a Hydroid Gracis, then I can blow up the world.
Not dead yet.
Ah, Thought Erasure is exactly what I needed. Because if they commit the Krasis here, then I'll get to take the casualties while blowing up everything they play. And they'll draw some cards, so that's, like, not ideal.
I was not prepared for this.
They draw 3. Okay, so they've got the card advantage, but we are about to have the board stabilized. Take Thought Erasure. I'm a little sad to lose that Absorb. I would have liked to have that. Okay. So this is a Yarok the Desecrated deck, huh? I think we actually need to take Command the Dreadhorde. Casualties is mildly annoying because we lose our Azcanta, but if they just want to use it as a Stone Rain, that's fine. These cards don't matter. Don't want that.
I've seen.
And, like, this is what I was talking about. We had to play a little awkwardly to hang on to it for that long, but... Oh, I should have held that land, because Cavalier is going to be able to... I want extra cards in hand to potentially brainstorm away with Cavalier. Okay, that was a good draw. Alright, Cavalier of Gales, what do we got? Wow! That's terrible. Oh. Well then. Pass the turn, I guess. That's, whew. That happened to me 3 times on stream earlier today. It was sad. Okay. Yeah, just gonna take Kai's Wrath here. And, like, this is the thing. Now, we still have 3 Cavaliers in our deck. I think this one's actually okay. Because we're going to be able to take that Yarok, so their rebuilding efforts will be not very good. And it surveils, so hopefully draws us towards something good later. Take Yarok the Desecrated. Definitely don't draw a land. I made the mistake earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and hang on to this. Would love at least 1 extra card to put back off of Cavalier. Oh, that was such a good draw. Wow. I don't think they want to play either one of these out. It doesn't change the clock yet. Like, they can attack and then play this next turn, and then it's fine. Hell, they can even play this one. Yeah, like... Alright, Cavalier. Need something good. Alright, if I put back the lands, then this is actually good. Because I can just immediately Kaya's Wrath, and, they get to put some... Oh, wait. That isn't what I wanted to do. Because now I'm just going to lose the game, as they put, like, whatever they want back on top. Probably going to Command the Dread... Oh, wait. Wait, that one? Really? Oh, they declined. What is going on? Why didn't they put Command the Dreadhorde on top of their deck? I'm suspecting that they aren't just going to play these 2 out. That's so weird. Yeah, they're right here. What? Oh, they're going to make me shuffle. Yeah, that's fine. So, no search for Azcanta. Oh well. Man, I thought I screwed up and, like, lost the game, because then they just cast whatever. But then I did have Planar Cleansing, so, like, it's not even that good. Alrighty.
Trust me,
Go away.
time is much more malleable than people think.
Okay. Again, I feel like we just got our head above water when we cast that first Planar Cleansing a while ago, and we're just desperately trying to not let them kill us. Okay. That's sweet with Yarok, double scries. Uh-oh. Alrighty. Yeah, I was gonna say, the question is whether or not they play the Chupacabra. They chose not to.
We need to move quickly.
Drawing with Teferi first, this will see us the maximum number of cards deep. Let's put back, like, this, I think. Here, we get to punish them pretty badly for refusing to commit lots of stuff. It's not... That's not really what we're doing, I guess, because it wouldn't have ended super well for them no matter what. But, we just keep, like, pushing away the creatures one at a time, and that keeps being good enough. If we let Cavalier die, we get to scry away this land, and we get to look at a lot of fresh cards next turn. And if we counter it and they just play Massacre Girl, like, we can't really protect against her very well. Yeah, whereas I'm not that scared of the 2/2. And, like, we knew the top card of our deck was dead. That's not a bad draw. That one I will counter. We don't want to use Planar Cleansing here because we've got a couple walkers.
Hold that thought.
Cool, that's actually an excellent draw.
I'll protect you.
The one card they could play that would mess us up pretty badly is Hydroid Krasis. We only have the one Narset and she's gone, so that's not really an option. Just kind of gotta hope that they don't draw another one. Or that if they do, we've already drawn enough cards off of these that we can just grind them out of the game. Which is looking relatively likely at this point, honestly. Huh. I don't even know if I absorb this Massacre Girl. We've already gone through 2 Command the Dreadhorde. We kind of have to decide how many we think they're playing. Yeah, I don't know. Of course, that said, I love the Cavalier density in our deck just keeps getting higher. Well, that's what I was just talking about. Do I absorb the 10/10? I think I do. Like, this sucks, because they get to draw a trillion cards, but, like... I don't know. We don't have the tools to beat a 10/10 right now. Well, even with our Planeswalkers, they're on track to deck faster than we will, so that's fun.
No time for a break.
Not great draws.
This might be a bad idea.
Let's see what we're at. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we are at, like, draw minus on nothing, Planar Cleansing, play new Teferi mana, which is kind of ridiculous. We'll see how much they commit to the board here. If they commit a lot, then, I mean, that's what I'm going to do. Oh, no!
You just let me
We're out of basics.
round 2.
If they don't commit anything else, I will just bounce Massacre Girl. And wait. I don't have to play anything.
I've got time.
That's not bad, actually. I, like, don't really want to planar cleansing the treasures away, or the map, but... as Teferi said, I've got time. And like I said, our Cavalier density just keeps getting higher. Every turn of the game, we're more likely to draw Cavaliers for the rest of the game. I kind of suspect most of our deck might be lands, though. I think we've gotten most of the good cards out. And actually, we can take a bunch of hits from Massacre Girl if we're not in the process of protecting a Teferi. Huh. Do we play this guy out? I think we do. They're gonna kill it with the Scry Trigger on the stack? Oh, that's unfortunate. Wow! Oh, God. Yeah, Hallowed Fountain up top, because we'll scry it away with the treasure map. Yeah, that's a good answer to our Cavaliers. But yeah, like I said, we can take a bunch of hits. They're gonna have to commit more to the board than that. Similar to us, their deck has got to be, like, pretty largely air at this point. Unfortunately, we don't have just, like, a fireball. That would probably be good enough. Okay. How many Kaya's Wraths have we used? 2? So there's 1 left. 1 Kaya's Wrath, 2 Cavaliers. Is there a Teferi Hero of Dominaria? There is. That wasn't a very good draw. I did say that it was mostly lands. Yeah, 4 lands on the bottom, so there are 2 Cavaliers and a Kaya's Wrath in the top 10 cards. We can take 1 more hit. I'm not scared of that. But yeah, we're like not that far from the territory where we can do the most hated win con in Magic, Teferi tucking himself forever. We are down on clock though, which is admittedly unusual for me. Actually, let's do this first, so we can use the Surveil to set up our draw. Okay. I did not expect these. I definitely didn't expect that. I suppose they're worried if they cast it big enough to matter, it'll screw up their deck. I think we need to keep a lot of cards in deck here, actually. Like I said, I can take 1 more hit without fear. Unfortunately, Teferi, in the process of removing a creature, like if I tried to get rid of something, Teferi puts another card in their deck. Which, like, I saw this, I'm like, wow, they kept it, really? But if they cast this for X equals 8, even, and then we planar cleansing, the game's probably over. Okay, so there are 12 cards. I said we have another Kaya's Wrath, and I think that's correct. Okay. So I think we can deterministically find the Kaya's Wrath here, and then save planar cleansing for something else. So let's see. 8 cards. We see 1 with search. Then we can draw 1, and then we can look at 4 more, and then draw 1 with Teferi. That's actually not quite enough. We're very likely to find the Kaya's Wrath. Yeah, this is what I was saying. Like, Okay. If they plus, that just puts them even closer to decking. Oh, they're gonna blow up my search, though.
So be gone, interloper.
Well, at the very least, we're way ahead in the decking race now. Okay. So we can sack a treasure, draw a card. That's fine. Now we're gonna blow up the world.
This experience still proved useful.
So let's skip to the good part.
Okay. Not perfect. Do we Cavalier? I kinda think we do. Okay, Vraska's Contempt is good. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't like when you know the top card because it gets hard to play. So the Kaya's Wrath is right there. Oh no, this is gonna shuffle our deck. Huh. Weird that playing a Cavalier and having it die is like card neutral as far as cards in deck. Don't want those lands. They gotta keep it on top, right? Yeah. One of the reasons I like this deck is because it doesn't have to win this way, but like, I don't know, if we're gonna keep drawing like this, I guess we do have to win this way.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
Okay. Even if we whiff here, we can still Vraska's Contempt this Branchwalker, so we're not dead. I wish I had like a one of Jace here, the 4-mana one. We could even just mill them with it, and they'd probably be dead. I didn't miscount, right? Like, there's still a Kaya's Wrath in here. 1, 2. Yeah, and I'm playing 3, so we've just, like, really bizarrely not been able to find it. Okay, so usually this is how you want to do it. You want to kill this with the trigger on the stack. Because that means I don't get to perfect Brainstorm. But in this case, they actually wanted to wait, because the way they did this means that I got to dig deeper. I potentially looked at 5 cards there, which is more than they wanted to allow me to look at. Okay, 7 to 3. Unless these are both threats, this game seems pretty over. Not relevant. Okay. Without even worrying about it, I'm just gonna kill this now. Yeah, okay. Oh my gosh. Like I mentioned, like, the deck isn't built to win that way, but, like, they had just enough interaction that we could never really get rolling the way we wanted to. So Dovin's Veto is good. Duress is, like, kinda good. Teferi is not actually very good at all. Moment of Craving and Disfigure are also not super great. I don't think I want too much of discard. These games are probably going to go long. I'm going to bring in some card draw. And, like, the cool thing about bodies in this deck, especially when they're attached to card draw, is it forces the opponent to commit more. Like, sometimes they can just kill your Cavalier of Gales or your Commence the Endgame token, which you're fine with, because, like, it already drew your cards. And if they don't, then the other way to beat it is to commit more cards around it. Like, if you've got a 4/3 Jadelight Ranger, you also need to commit a Cavalier of Thorns, or whatever. And then we can just Wrath, because we've got 5 super good Wrath cards. Yeah, honestly, I don't know if they would have won, but I think that game came down to the turn that their Cavalier of Thorns died, and they chose not to put Command the Dreadhorde on top. If they'd done that, we would have had to blow our second, sounds great. We would have had to blow our second Planar Cleansing way earlier. Cool, draw land, that's exactly what we wanted. They basically, yeah, they had like 1 turn in there to do something really scary. Beyond that, we can probably keep them off it. We do need to keep finding lands here. This doesn't really do much. This is really annoying, but we can wait. I think it's just Hydroid Crisis. Do not want a Cavalier of Gales. This is really unfortunate, though. This is one of the only ways this card goes away permanently. Okay. Really want to find a 4th land. If we can find lands 4 and 5, we are probably just set. Oh, boy. I mean, this is how we built the deck. We've got a lot of clunk. It's just not that likely to draw it all at once. I think we gotta save this Absorb for, like, this or something. Oh, that's really bad. Well. Ditch one of these, commence the endgames. Man. We played 28 lands for a reason. This is pretty unlikely. Okay. It's probably death. Just gonna go ahead and blow and absorb. I mean, we can come back from a lot with Planar Cleansing in our deck, but it's gonna be really tough.
Go ahead. Pain is weakness, leaving the body.
Alright. I mean, that's mean. Unfortunately, that gets blown up by Planar Cleansing. Unfortunately for them. So, yeah. Oh. How many cards do we have to look at? Jeez. It's really sad, because, like, this is exactly the type of draw that we could beat up on pretty easily. Like, this Planeswalker doesn't really matter, their pressure's pretty mediocre, and we've already got an answer for their top end. We're just gonna be a little too slow. I imagine they're gonna plus on nothing and play Yarok here? No. Well, they're not super prepared at the moment to defeat a Cavalier of Gales, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, we did not find our 3rd white source. That's really bad. Maybe they'll kill our Cavaliers somehow for us and shuffle. Don't think we're doing either of these at the moment. Like, they get to draw their extra card, but what do they even do here? Our card's just better on board. They could play this, but then we'll just Kaya's Wrath. I don't like that they get to draw extra cards for a while, but whatever. Just cleansing that all away. Yeah, so I'm going to attack you, because if we blow up this, we're blowing this up at the same time, so the loyalty here doesn't matter. Then I'm going to play a Swamp, and a Search for Azcanta, and a Kaya's Wrath. Godless Shrine is good, Dismal Backwater is not. Gaining some life wouldn't be terrible, but... Opponent, what do you got? Branchwalker? Sure. Okay. Let's see if they put something good on top this time. Because, like last time, they have the opportunity to put something on top with Cavalier of Thorns. I think the Immortal Sun is actually a fine choice. No, gonna go with Command the Dreadhorde. I mean, that's also a fine choice. I really wish we had a counter here. Honestly, I think we should already be dead. I think playing the Immortal Sun when they did was a mistake. If they'd have just, like, plussed Vraska one more time, even if we're killing their guys, that emblem is so scary. Let's see, I assume they're commanding here. They can get our Cavalier, that's kind of mean. Oh, and they get to double Brainstorm, that's funny. I mean, the second Brainstorm isn't that good, because you just draw 2 of the 3 cards you put back, but... So yeah, like, I don't know, Teferi took this Cavalier. They're, like, not that far ahead, again. Don't they have something they could have gotten back? Like, they could go pretty low. Just bring back a Jade Light Ranger, too. This just isn't enough board, I don't think. Oh. That's like the same. If you just played it. Unfortunately, now we are dead on board to a Teferi downtick. That's not good enough. Draw. Hey, that's what we wanted to see. We don't have enough mana to do anything fun, so we're just going to blow up the world. I'll take that back. Oh no, we have the permanent wave sound effects now. Wait. Do they get the Scry, but I get my Cavalier back? I guess that's how that works. That's wild. Yeah, that's pretty annoying, but... Yeah, 2 unknowns, what do you got? Nothing? Alright. Teferi time.
Hurry!
That's not incredible. Good news is, if we draw another Cavalier, they're dead in 1 hit.
Suppose that's how it was meant to happen.
That's bad. That's quite bad.
And fear are the seeds of disaster. Ether itself serves me.
God. If we Contempt this, then we have 3 turns to draw an answer to the Spirit token. If we Contempt this, we're still dead in 3 turns, but we need an answer to a bunch of 2/2s and an Ugin. Alright.
Too many unreliable variables.
Gonna hang on to this in case of a Cavalier. It's not like in Legacy where you actually go up the cards from putting something back and then brainstorming, but it does give you access to the cards immediately, and also sometimes your opponent duresses you when you have a Glacial Fortress in hand. You get a card for free. Okay, not an excellent draw. We got two more of those. Maybe 1 more if they play like anything at all. Okay. 1 more. I still think hitting Ugin was correct. Like, we'd still be dead just as fast, but, oh boy, this is a sad way to lose. Oh, man. So close. Okay. I think we should have been super dead really early in that game, and instead we kind of weren't. Is it worth it to get more Duresses in here? Kind of want them, but I kind of want everything else more. I think we need our Wraths. Their Explore package is too powerful. We need all of our fun card advantage-y things. Maybe Duress is better than, like, commence the end game. Just get a little more early action going on. Maybe we have enough inevitability even without it. Like I said before, I just like that commence gives us a way to pressure walkers and also force them to commit more to the board. This hand's great. Doesn't have that early of a play, but that's fine. No Duress. Okay. Getting this down early is awesome. Yeah, you know what? I'll keep that. They're not doing anything yet. They're not pressuring me. I can play this a little slow. And like I said, binning it with a Search for Azcanta or with a Thought Erasure is, like, really rough. Because you just never get it back. This was possibly greedy, but we already have the triple blue accounted for. Next turn we can Vraska's Contempt to buy time, and then we're basically already resolving it. That I will bin. Need us some lands. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and take the 4 from this the first time. I want to hold up hold up Vraska's Contempt. Do I? They already played their land tapped. Is there anything that scary they can do? I don't actually think so. I was worried about, like, a Vraska or something, but when they already played their land... library. So the question is which card we play here. I'm gonna go with the Cavalier. Okay, we can put back a treasure map. And we get to draw the other card, so I'm going to hide Teferi. So the way this works is I'm doing it like this. If they kill this, then what I said is irrelevant. But we're going to search for Azcanta and get rid of the treasure map with the Surveil-ish trigger. Graveyard. Then we get to draw the big guy. Whew! Well, that's scary. These are all bad news. I'm not gonna lie to you. Definitely not gonna play out Teferi. Don't want them to eat that for free with casualties. Sucks that we lose our search. I didn't think they'd have double casualties of war. They played that instead, really. I am surprised. Graveyard, don't want that. Huh. So the only question here is whether or not I play out the Godless Shrine. If I don't, then commence the end game will make a 5/5, which is still a 2-turn clock. I think that might be worth it. Yep, they get their extra card. That's a little rough. Fortunately, we were too slow flipping our Azcanta. Wow, that's really bad. Huh. Well, I mean, this isn't a Wrath, so we can still just do the thing. Alright, Duress, what do you got? I realized they were doing this to avoid a counter spell, but I was still surprised. God, yeah, now they probably want to hit this so we don't get the scry value. Because if we hit a counter, they'll probably just lose the game. Take 5 from this twice. But that said, we also just have the Cavalier, so... We might steal this one by just beating down. Yeah, this has been a long match. Deal. Careful not to play Teferi here. I was almost like, oh man, we can uptick and then find and if we get to play or untap 2 lands and hold up Veto, but that is not the case. So the question is here, they get this and 2 looks. Are we better off with a Cavalier or holding up Veto? I'm thinking it's the Cavalier. Because like if they just draw a Jade Light Ranger, then Veto doesn't help us at all. Matter. So this is a little scary. The top of our library is not coming to our rescue here. Fortunately, Command the Dreadhorde is not very good right now. Okay. So far, plan looking good. That card is not very good right now. Huh, really? They kill my Cavalier, I get to scry away these stupid lands. Nope, they didn't have it. Whew! That was a marathon. That first game especially, but yeah, we ground them out. Sick games, that was really fun. Alright, second match. If it's like that first one, I will probably just play this one more, because, oh man, that was long. Ugh, no blue is rough. This is also pretty rough, but it's better, I guess. But yeah, if it's another hour-long game, then don't need this video to be a million hours long. This way we have 2 of each, which is kind of what we need for most of our deck. We'll need a 3rd blue eventually, but almost every card in our deck almost every land in our deck taps for blue. That's not true. Specifically, we have like 9 more lands that don't. Okay. I was scared of a Spectral Sailor there. Is it Phoenix? Maybe? Index Spell Pierce, okay. Almost certainly Phoenix. This matchup's really, really tough. Like, once they get out ahead of you, it's very difficult to come back. Phoenix's million for 1 you. That's quite a good draw, actually. Just slow them way down. Next turn we can just slam a Cavalier. Hope that's good enough. If they spin their wheels for a while, we can just attack 5 times. This definitely counts as spinning their wheels. Maybe looking for a 2nd blue for a Crackling Drake. Goblin Left Commands, sure. One card that I've considered putting in this deck that I would really love to have right now is Kaya. She's really mean to these decks. She doesn't do anything against Crackling Drake, but just constantly eating Phoenix is so bad for them. It's so hard for them to get anything going. Okay, there's 1 Phoenix. All Izzet Phoenix players always have 3 Phoenixes in their top 20 cards, but they're only 16 cards deep, so they might only have 2. No? No 2nd Phoenix, huh. Like, this is kind of cool, because honestly, we can just race Phoenix here. Like, Like, they play it and attack for 3, and they'll probably look to trade and burn, but, like, it doesn't matter. We're just gonna keep playing 5/5s. Yeah, no blocks. Didn't expect that, did you? They don't know what to do with themselves? And again, if they attack, I'll just take 3. I can afford to take a lot of damage. This moment will both slow them down and, let's actually do like this. Because we want to draw our land to hit the land drop next turn. Depending on what they do, we might start playing defensive, just because I was playing assuming that we wouldn't draw Narset because we only have the 1. But this card is so incredibly nasty to this deck. It's like almost every card in their deck draws cards. It's really difficult to beat this. I know, I have tried. I've really enjoyed the Is It deck for a while, but like, once this card was printed, this just felt unplayable. Nah, no blocks. I'll take it. Got damage for days. Each one of these is attacking for as much as both of theirs. Yeah. 1 mana Divination's pretty good. It's not quite ancestral, but it's getting close. Okay, that's a little annoying because it was the lava coil. We don't get him back. Alright, I'm gonna play this a little aggro. And by aggro, I mean not actually aggro. I'm just gonna play it greedy.
Those who cannot perceive beyond
I'm not gonna activate her, which will hopefully force them to overextend into trying to kill her. And then I'm gonna get to eat something and Moment of Craving something else, and they're not gonna make much progress, and I'm gonna kill their guys. Like I said, this is a somewhat greedy line. But once they killed my other Cavalier, I wasn't sure of my ability to race anymore. That's really bad for me. It's really annoying. That specifically they had an instant and a sorcery that they could get back with Finale of Promise. And again, specifically that it's Lava Coil. All at me, huh? I'm still gonna save some life here. So we're gonna draw this Kaya's Wrath, and I'm gonna Wrath these away. Because they're really irritating. And I think I am gonna downtick Narset. I would really like to find like a Thought Erasure.
your prowess.
You know what? That's close enough. Yep, that's leaving up Absorb. This way, like, a Finale won't get back the Arclight Phoenix by itself. Yeah, I was kind of looking to steal the game with the whole, yeah. Let's keep her around. Now it'll be really hard for them to get back a Phoenix in one turn, because they can't draw cards. Okay. Graveyard.
Keep an open mind.
Well, I don't want a Planar Cleansing, so we're gonna do this. New. And we're gonna blow up the world. Alright. We are very far ahead. Most of their deck doesn't work. We're about to have our card advantage engine online. And, yeah, they're just out of resources. Yeah. I don't really want that. Okay, we hit the absorb. Your move. Basically, the only thing we're scared of now is if they have a main deck Niv Mizzet, and we even have answers to that. Not a ton of answers, but answers. I wouldn't recommend that. Yeah, she's still there. Yeah. That was an oops. Let me go ahead and counter that. If I'm not countering it, I'm just... I suppose I should have activated Azcanta first. Okay. I'm not gonna activate Azcanta on my turn.
I am not. Keep up the
Because,
pace.
this way it looks like I'm bluffing something or other. I don't know. Yeah, they don't even have enough lands to play a Niv, even if they draw it. Yeah, and they're done. Okay. We didn't finish that game the way I thought we were going to, but we got there in the end, so it's probably fine. I'm gonna bring in a couple cries. Don't need to deal with that nonsense. Veto's probably good. Is anything bad? Teferi's like not great. They don't really need to... Wait, no, never mind. Teferi nerfs their best card. You can't cast Finale of Promise when this is on the table, so don't listen to me. Yeah, Teferi's awesome. Oh yeah, I don't want Vetoes, I want Duresses. Putting in some proactive plays, so... I can board down on this. This might be a little much of this effect, but like I said earlier, I'm mostly scared of Niv Mizzet, so I want plenty of cards that can get him out of here. That card's really difficult to beat. I think that game was just an example of how high the floor is on Cavalier of Gales. Like, we didn't really get to take advantage of the card's selection of the Brainstorm aspect. Like, I don't think we got to clear anything away. But we didn't have to at all. This is actually pretty good for bouncing Electromancers. Instead, one of them put us up a card and then ate 2 cards from them. And the other one put us up a card and then ate their very best card. Just gonna go ahead and slam this if they want to Spell Pierce it, that's fine. But yeah, Finale of Promise is the best thing that their deck can do. And they had to waste one, killing a Cavalier and doing nothing else. Okay, card selection getting going. We do need to hit... Even one more white land doesn't let us cast Planar Cleansing. Maybe I should have just cut these. It's usually going to hurt us worse than them. Maybe if we see, like... Oh, that guy's a jerk. Graveyard, don't want that. Just going to snap this off. Never mind, Wraths are great. I am very smart for keeping them in my deck. Man, they're boarding in all the annoying cards. All the annoying 3-drops. Unfortunately, Teferi bouncing this is, like, not really good anymore. I'll keep that on top. We need to keep hitting white sources here. Maybe I should have even played him just to kill the token, so I can safely play him and downtick later. Sure, I'll keep that on top. Interesting that they didn't downtick. That seems odd to me. It's not like I have lightning bolts. Maybe scared of Oath of Kaya? Okay, most of these cards don't matter. This card could matter, but not if I get a Teferi down, but they're going to be able to kill Teferi if they want. I'm just going to take the Narset, try to grind through that. Kind of want to Teferi and bounce this 1/1. I think I will. I'm in the market here for making them spend a bunch of resources. And they even have to tap the mana on their turn, which is nice. I want them to spend resources handling Planeswalkers and keeping their board up, because then we're going to catch it all back up once we can. Don't have that many cards in the yard yet, but that's okay.
Meditate and prepare.
Negate is good, although not when Teferi's down.
Now what?
Graveyard. Oh boy. Teferi doesn't really do anything here. If we downtick on Narset, suppose we could uptick. See if he eats a negate. Doesn't draw a card, but like whatever. Just start building up loyalty for later. It's not terrible. He'll probably just eat a negate, so we actually get to use our mana this turn. Alright. Also means that if we bin the card with Azcanta, we get to flip it. And then we've officially broken parity. Always remember to give your kitty attention. I like the blue one. Yep. Alright, what do we got? Oh, this is the most difficult decision that could have been here. God. Oh, that's so awkward. Because I need it, but I also don't want it. Screw it. We can wait. This isn't doing anything. We don't need to Planar Cleansing yet. They draw another negate? Okay. I was about to be surprised. Uh-oh. If they Spell Pierce, we can pay. Okay. Alright, so at some point we need to find a third white source. This was so greedy, but I was like, the Electromancer doesn't matter that much, Narset doesn't matter that much, we don't really need to pull the trigger yet anyway. Problem is if they just, like, slam a Niv Mizzet here, it's like, So unfortunately, Azcanta the Sunken Ruin does not find white sources. Okay. Let's see if opponent successfully casts this, because this interface is, like, really awkward. Like, it's really easy to try to cast this and not discard a card. Okay. That's annoying. Oh, I think we still have a Veto in our deck. I should have Azcanta'd to try and find a Veto for the finale. That was dumb. If I find it, I'm gonna feel really dumb. Did not find a Veto. Vraska's Contempt is great, though. Let's see what else they do. The dynamic of, like, the blue control cards is really interesting. So, obviously, Search for Azcanta is not that great early game. Like, it's scrying every turn, but that's pretty whatever. Hey, we found the white source. Cool. Just going to arc kill this right now. Or at least try. This is a sorcery, right? Yeah. If they've got, like, a lightning strike, they can counter this, but whatever. They want to spew a million cards to keep their Phoenix alive, or Phoenix accessible. That's their business. Oh, but, so if I could, like, choose what I want to have on the battlefield on turn 1, it's Narset every time. It screws with their deck, gives you better card selection, it's just everything you want. But now as the game goes on, she's spent, and, like, a lot of our cards don't even draw cards. So she's just kind of not doing anything. And meanwhile, this already gave us a bunch of good card selection. We played awkwardly around it a little, so that's a cost. But now it's just going to be digging us into cards. Man, they found another Phoenix? Dang. I suppose in the top 28 cards, that's pretty reasonable. Let's see if they can cast 2 more spells. They could not, at least not yet. Huh. I don't love shuffling away our cries, but I think Thought Erasure is going to be better. Alright. Well, I was trying to Thought Erasure first to clear the path for Teferi, but Teferi would have cleared the path for Thought Erasure, I guess. He would have just eaten the negate, so it's pretty whatever. Unlike last time, I'm going to uptick. I don't want him to die. He can't draw cards anyway, so. Like I said, their best card is Finale of Promise, and it doesn't work anymore. They should have 2 more in their deck. It's just not a card, as long as he's on the table. Fry? Fry?
Should have seen that coming.
That's mean. No? Let's hope we can find a removal spell. If not, we might have to pull the trigger on this Planar Cleansing. Oh! That wasn't great. Looks like we're pulling the trigger on Planar Cleansing. Just gonna go ahead and fire off this Duress. Okay. We can resolve Planar Cleansing through Spell Pierce, so that's not relevant. Take Finale of Promise.
You are a mighty warrior.
Okay.
I can see.
Opponent has basically nothing going on. If they drew a spell, they can, like, spew a lot to get back a Phoenix, but we're still at 17 and we got this Azcanta going. Yep. If they have anything else they can cast the spell and then Spell Pierce their own thing. And like I said, that just gets their Phoenix back. That doesn't, like, really help them win the game. Oh, or just cast an Arclight Phoenix, that's fine. Alright, what do we got? Just gonna take the Contempt. Can't cast it yet, because they had Spell Pierce up there. But we can afford to take a little bit more damage, that's fine. Sure. What if they drew another Phoenix? No? Surprised they didn't attack. Alright, one more spell and they get that Phoenix that they had before back. Yep, okay. Taking a lot of damage here. It's a pity we don't have one more mana in play. We could have avoided a significant amount of this damage, but... If we pay, then we get to, even if they have another Spell Pierce, we'll just take it, so that's fine. Hey, opponent, peace of mind is worth a lot. I'm just going to slam this right now. Okay, again, they're kind of down to nothing, and we have an Azcanta. They've got this Phoenix, but we'll be able to wrath it away. And they're a little far away from reanimating it again. Yeah, I don't know if they should have this in their deck. Post board, like, especially not if they have Fry. Alright, let's just shut this down. Pass, we got our hard counter. If they don't do anything, we can go back to Azcanting. Do we know our deck yet? We know a lot of our deck. Oh, it's actually got good stuff in it. I'm used to knowing my whole deck, and I flip back through, and it's just like 80% land. Okay. Answer to a possible Niv Mizzet. Gives me some peace of mind. I'm gonna attempt to counter this. Like, you really, if you're trying to avoid getting Phoenixed, you really just got to pull the trigger and counter the very first one. And by the first one, I mean the first of the cantrippy cards they're playing, because odds are they probably don't have 2 more spells in hand yet. What they probably have is some lands, and they were hoping to draw into more spells. Ooh, boy. It doesn't really matter.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
No, I'm just gonna look to close this game real fast. Again, if any of the cards in their hand is Finale, it just doesn't work. They've blown 2, so there's probably only 1 left in their deck. Don't want those. I went kind of shields down this turn. If they have 3 spells, I'll be sad. Okay. They do not. Counter spell is great. I'm back like this.
Here we go.
Now, answer to potential Phoenixes is great. Counters for Crackling Dake is great. They kind of seem like they don't have Niv in their deck. I have to imagine they would have found it. Yeah. Alright. Whew. Alright, that was kind of agonizing, but not quite as agonizing as last time. I'll go ahead and play one more. And plus, I really like this deck, so... Okay. Third and final match with Esper Control. Not saying that I hope we lose, but if we're losing anyway, I kind of hope we just get run over, so it can be done. Alright, this hand's cool. Gonna shuffle away the Drowned Catacomb. Gives us 2 of each source, early plays. I want all the high drop cards in my deck because I want to draw them every game. I don't necessarily want to draw them on turn 1 every game. I just sent you away. No, that was a Drowned Catacomb. I'm guessing that sticking this won't matter against Forest Llanowar Elves, compared to a control deck where you need to sneak it under counters and discard. Just gonna slow them down. If they play another Mana Dork, I'll just bounce it with Teferi. I mean, that's basically a Mana Dork. I am equally likely to bounce it with Teferi.
This isn't a fight you can win. No, I am not making this up as I go.
This might be another matchup where we see the power of Cavalier. Just a card draw spell and win condition that's going to outsize almost everything they play. Yeah. Alright. Teferi collects his 2 for 1. Do they have a Llanowar Elves? Yeah. Okay. Opponent's starting to run low on cards. This is like a great example of why I like Cavalier more than Teferi, honestly. Like, basically no matter what they do, playing Teferi is not safe. It's really hard to make playing him safe. Without playing, like, Settle the Wreckage or something like that. Cavalier is definitely going to be safe and be exactly what I want.
Did you just call me scrolly? We won't answer other guilds.
Man, Domri's, like, really annoying. Here's another board where Planar Cleansing would do a lot of work. Okay, Commune. If they find a Rotting Regisaur, then suddenly Cavalier of Gales isn't as good anymore. Okay, that is not Rotting Regisaur. That's, like, equally annoying, though. Luckily... Yeah, Disfigure, bad. 1 Godless Shrine, bad. I suspect what's going to happen is they're going to play Shifting Ceratops, and it's going to eat my guy, and then they're going to swing at me for 1,000,000, and then I'm going to blow up the world. We're going to lose our search for Azcanta, which sucks, but... I suspect they're not going to have a lot left in the tank after that. Like, they might have literally nothing if they go, like, land some mopey creature, Ceratops, do what I said. We do have to be careful not to just die, though. Which I guess if their hand's good enough, we can't really avoid. But yeah, I think they need to fight here. Because otherwise they can't attack with the Marauding Raptor, yeah.
No more getting pushed around.
So we're going to take 13 here. 14, 15, go to 7. I mean, that's scary. Huh. I'm going to keep those. I don't mind... God, I got scared when it looked like the Kaiserath was going on top. But a white source that doesn't hurt us. Those 2 life might end up being very valuable. Not attacking with the Llanowar Elves. They got something else to play? I would love if they played out another elf. Just don't commune for some charging Monstrosaur nonsense. Dang it! Looks like they might just be red-green. They might not have black for the Rotting Regisaur. Which is pretty whatever. Doesn't really matter. Alright. Reset button.
Any skirmish you can walk away from, right?
If they play basically any 1 creature, Teferi can just tuck it. Well, that's really annoying. I think Teferi's still going to do that, but... Teferi might be dying for his efforts. I could Kaya's Wrath, but I'd rather hang on to that, get a little more. And this has higher upside. If they don't draw something next turn, then I get to Wrath anyway, and Teferi just keeps drawing cards. So I think we're favored, unless they draw a haste creature here, and then we're in trouble. That is not a haste creature.
Hurry!
Okay. Blow up the world. Set a stop on my upkeep so that I can scry on their end step and then again on my turn. Okay, them drawing a land is good. We get a lot of looks here at something to avoid death from this Gruul Spellbreaker. Is that good enough? Because it'll kind of just like tuck this thing again. Well, unless we find Absorb specifically, we're probably not going to deal with the Spellbreaker anyway. So I think that's actually good enough. Oh, I should have scried for this one. That was a mistake. Oops. So yeah, they are probably going to play this with haste, kill Teferi, we scry on upkeep, play Teferi, hopefully draw a card and kill it. Then we're in a good spot. This was like, this wasn't a swinging for the fences line, but like, the fact that normal removal spells don't work on this, like a cast down wouldn't have saved Teferi, made me really want to keep the other one. Well, dang it. I think that's good enough. Because now we can tuck this guy, and we are protecting with Absorb.
This isn't a
Now we basically only lose to Shifting Ceratops, which they already saw one. The odds of another one are not amazing. We don't even have to tap out of Absorb here. I don't think we want that. I think we've got enough card advantage going. Need cards that do things.
Hold that thought.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and activate this, because Teferi can untap it anyway. Not terrible, but... Okay, I lied. That is terrible. Oh well, we still got our protection, and... I don't know, whatever this is. Do I counter that? I think I do. Like I said, Absorb is only as good as them not drawing Shifting Ceratops anyway. Okay, we get to draw a bunch of cards. Oh, that was dumb. Oh, God.
Let's skip to the good part.
Yeah, okay, so I knew that this was here, so I should have saved the Absorb for that and looked for a removal spell for the Raptor. But instead, like a big dummy, I'm just gonna let our Teferi die. Oh, God. And, like, we flooded out really bad, but it's only punishing us because I played like an idiot. Now we have no card draw engine going anymore, because I binned that Azcanta. Didn't think a million Teferi draws and the full 3 from the Treasure Cove would... Huh. Teferi bouncing Gruul Spellbreaker lines up really unfortunately. If nothing changes, the Spellbreaker just gets to eat him for free.
Only time will tell.
Alright, we're down 2 big Teferis, but that's pretty much it. We got a lot of powerful cards in our deck. Down both Azcantas, that's bad. And our treasure map. I'm just gonna do this now. Basically, we've got 1 big Teferi and 3 Cavaliers, and I really, really want to draw any of those. Okay, that's a decent draw. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, I screwed this up. I'm gonna go ahead and take the damage here and just Kai's Wrath them both away. I need to spend a removal spell on half a card. Yeah, there we go. Well, okay. Let's not blow up our own sweet Flying Knight for no reason. Okay, those draws were not incredible. But I have seen worse. This right here is a good example of why Shifting Ceratops is not that good. because I mean, it's fine against, like, the Flash deck. I tried playing the Flash deck and against someone with main deck Shifting Ceratops, and it was miserable. But, it's not good against control decks, like, at all. Like, neither of the Teferis can deal with it, but I don't know, man. I'm playing Cast Down and Vraska's Contempt for a reason. Like, maybe I'm supposed to be playing Tyrant's Scorn over Cast Down, but then that would make me worse against the Ceratops, so I don't mind playing Cast Down. Yeah, I just love this card. It's closing the game so fast. And even if they drew something and we didn't have answers in hand, it would hold them at bay. In a way that Teferi just can't. You saw how two Teferis struggled that much with one Gruul Spellbreaker. Alright. Disfigure and Moment of Craving are really bad. They hit Llanowar Elves, but they don't hit, like, anything else. Their deck's, like, all 2/3s. Chupacabra is excellent. Kills a thing and leaves a body behind to chump or whatever. We kind of want to have answers to their Planeswalkers, but we kind of already have those. Narset's pretty bad. She shuts down, like, Ripjaw, but I don't know. It's not like she was actually going to stick around when they had a Marauding Raptor on the table anyway. So, just like put in a Duress. They probably don't have that many targets, but if we play it on turn 1, we'll probably be able to nab something. Veto's also pretty bad. Play this because it makes a body. I don't know. I had 3 Chupacabras in the sideboard before. Maybe I should still. Just like, because our board isn't great in this matchup. I could... If we go to game 3, I'll probably look to board in the Elder spell, because one of the ways that we lose this matchup is if they board into, like, 1,000,000 Planeswalkers. And if they just have, like, Sarkhan and Big Chandra and Domri and all that crap, and this piles up over here, it can be really hard to come back. But that said, that's what Planar Cleansing is for. There are not a lot of things that deal with Sarkhan and his dragon and some other Planeswalker, but... Okay, I think this hand's fine, but I'm tentative. No Llanowar Elves. Oh boy. Let's hope we don't get run over. Okay, white mana is progress. Okay, they did have a hit. Cool. So I'm going to play Elf, probably tap land, hit me for 1. I'm going to shock, and then look to cast down the Monster Soar, and they kind of have nothing. Uh-oh. There's, like, nothing good for me that can mean. They're holding up, like, shock. They might have been holding up Veil of Summer there. The card's real obnoxious. I was gonna say, you can't resist the turn 3 Monster Soar. I know you can't. It's dead, and you're gonna wish you could have resisted it, but... I wish every land that we're playing didn't hurt us, but I think we have to leave up Absorb here, even though I kinda have the read on the Veil. I think we have to try. Okay. Again, Teferi on this board is, like, not very good. It doesn't really do much. Cavalier on this board is going to be awesome. Alright, attempt to counter. Counter successful. Wow. I really thought I had the read on that Veil. I really hoped I was wrong, because that would be so bad for us. Importantly, even though Domri doesn't do much here, he makes counters not work. So, it's kind of a smoke 'em if you got 'em situation. I'm gonna avoid taking some damage and see if I can hit their last card. Okay. Do I want that? Let's make cast Commence on time without taking damage? Actually seems okay. Alright, top deck war. Please don't play a Shifting Ceratops. Although we can actually beat a Shifting Ceratops. Oh no! Ah, this card's so brutal. Well, we'll see what they take. These are both important to hit here. Gonna have trouble beating either one. I will jump for joy if they take Teferi. He is by far the one I care about least here. Okay, they took the Cavalier. Understandable. Okay, been to Lightning Strike. I think they might have actually wanted to keep that Lightning Strike here. Because, now because they hit a card out of my hand, this is going to be a 3-3, which holds off their board. But if they had the Lightning Strike, they can strike it and still get in for 4. Yeah. I think you can play control in this format, but it's become really, really important to be willing and able to commit to the board. If they have a shock, this loses, but whatever. I'm not playing around shock. Not game 2. Playing Esper control. That's not why I registered this, to play around shock. Alright, Teferi, we're gonna need something. I mean, not really. We're, like, pretty far ahead, but...
Right on,
I would very much like to draw something. How's that? Ugh, that does not count. But yeah, like, Teferi just wouldn't be good enough here, except we've got cards that can lock down the board and protect him. And with all their haste creatures, like, just wraths and removal spells don't count. Blockers are some of the only removal that works beforehand.
We need to move quickly.
Okay. Not loving this. Not loving this at all. Not loving that. If I don't draw anything, I think Teferi has to send that away. Oh my god. Now he's like dead to a lightning strike. Oh boy. No whammies? Oh, come on! God damn it. Definitely not gonna -3 Teferi. That's not winning. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me.
Keep up the pace.
Okay. Maybe this is good enough. Okay, it's good enough. Yes! Awesome. See, look at that. Teferi just sits there and wasn't doing anything for, like, so long, making me panic. And then when the moment we draw Cavalier of Gales, we can't possibly lose. Just saying. Oh man, can't possibly lose is a dangerous statement when you're at 8 against red-green. If we die, I'm gonna feel dumb. Nope, okay, we got there. So, yeah. It wasn't quick, and it wasn't easy, but we got a 3-0, which I haven't done in a while, because... oh man, have I been losing a lot. But yeah, I think Esper Control is super sick. Would recommend. If you haven't played with Cavalier of Gales, do it. I love this card. So, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see things like where I come up with this on stream to avoid losing to blue-green, you should subscribe to this page and also click the Twitch link down below. Yeah, I have fun, stream twice a week, post videos here twice a week, and that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching.